That's a good opening face. Oh my gosh, buddy. Aries inhaled something and is now having a sneezing fit. Come here, bud. What did you do? Oh, come here. What did you do, buddy? Right, give it a minute to let people join in. Is this one mine?
No.
This one mine?
That wasn't yours. It's actually empty. I was going to
So empty, there's milk in there.
see if you wanted to pour it on camera. So this is
There we go.
there
Hold
we
it by
go.
the handle, which I don't do with coffee mugs because I don't do the handle thing. It makes me nervous.
And off he goes.
Hi, bud. No, you didn't want to hang out. All right.
So today we are drinking Mexico honey, which is our very favorite whole bean
Mm-hmm.
from Cold Blooded Caffeine. And and then we are also sporting our very fancy custom-made curly hair keeper mugs from Throw and Thorn,
Mm-hmm.
which are some friends of ours, which as soon as we hit 50 Patreon members, we have another set of these that we are going to do a raffle and give them away.
And today we are going to do a raffle for a Guy giveaway. So the Stop and Smell the Flowers piece of
Addy art.
Abby art. So yeah, we got some things to do, some updates for everybody.
Hey, Carrie, how are you?
Hi, Carrie. I do need to. Patreon is weird, y'all. So I have like a list of. So the art giveaway will be for paid members. So I'm trying to make sure I have an accurate paid member list. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that. So once buddy,
Bless
oh my
you.
gosh.
Aries is so sneezy.
He is. He just woke up and came out of his house and got a face full of dust bunny or spider web. I don't know which one it was, but he got it good enough his nose. Buddy. So yeah, we're going to do that giveaway. I might add something fun
A
additionally.
little something, something.
A little something. Yeah. But
We've
yeah,
always
I've
got
tried.
fun stuff like, what do we have? We have stickers.
Yeah, I am getting a couple new designs that I'm purchasing from the Slime Scholar. Because they didn't ask for them, but they're a big fan of like Aries and Cogs specifically, which I mean, who isn't? So they did some really fun, adorable artwork for both of them. So I asked them if I could purchase that from them because I want to make Cog stickers and maybe like a limited edition Aries t-shirt or something. I don't know. We'll have fun with it. So yeah. But yeah, if you have as you're joining, but that wasn't him sneezing, that was him moving.
He's climbing to hide this on the
He's
floor.
getting into things. But yeah, if you have any questions or just want to say hi as you pop into the chat, let us know. I can see like how many people are here, but I can't see who it is on StreamYard. So Jody might be able to. I don't know. He's on his phone.
I'm trying. StreamYard on phones is unexcellent.
Excellent. It got very thunderstormy here a minute ago, so hopefully things will last long enough. I'm checking to make sure. I know Liz is on the Patreon link, the Patreon stream. So hello to Liz.
Yeah, I can't even see the chat.
Can't even see nothing. Yeah. I can see the chat. So yeah, let us know if you have any questions. We're just gonna run through and do like a baby update. We are in the process of ordering enclosure upgrades for a couple of the kiddos. So Centauri is it really? Carrie's not far from us.
Yeah,
so
Carrie's like an hour
Yeah.
and change from here, so it means we're probably
we're probably gonna get it.
getting it in a hot minute.
Yeah. So yeah, Centauri is gonna get an upgrade. Patreon members already know she's got another. She re-injured or injured her other eye, so it's her left eye this time instead of the right eye. So the same kind of clogged duct thing, and I think it's because she needs more space. She gets into all of the things in her little enclosure because she's just always pacing, so she climbs on things like on the roof and stuff. So we're going to upgrade her ASAP, and then we also have upgrades for 2 other animals that I'm going to order. Well, I'm going to email Toad Ranch today to let them know what I want, and then as soon as I get the invoice, I'll do the order thing. So that's the goal.
Are we going to use her tank as a hand-me-down for somebody, like maybe Law?
No, because Law's getting one of the other upgrades.
Oh, Law's getting one of the 6-footers.
Yeah. So there's a couple things we could do. So I can show you all. Hi, sweetie pie. Hi, hello. Oh, you just turned around to class. It's not feed time. There's no food. There's no food. Hi. Can you calm down? Hi, you turned around so fast. I don't have food for you. Did you hear me talking about needing to feed you? Come on. You want to show everybody how your eye looks? Come on, hi. Come on.
So, kind of recap what's happened with Centauri while Abby's getting her out is a while ago, she essentially got a clogged tear duct. And ultimately, we don't really know exactly how it's happening. The likely candidates are that she just is predisposed to it, and or
The vet thinks it was trauma-based.
It was trauma-based.
Yeah.
That she, just bonked it, and so her tear duct got clogged. So essentially, what ends up happening is like tears build up, and it kind of like pushes out her eye cap a little bit until it drains. And what we've been able to do in the past, which we're about to try again with her today, is you give them just a really sizable feeder, and the kind of act of maneuvering their mouth, opening wide, maneuvering around the feeder, kind of dislodges whatever is clogging the tear duct, and it drains on its own. So that's what worked last time, right?
Yes. Yeah, we gave her.
I think it took 2 tries last time. Right?
Yeah. I gave her a decent sized meal the first time, and then when I tried the second time, it was like you have to feed them something that looks like they can't eat. Like it has to be really, really big. So at least I know that now, though. So yeah. So we have a couple of bigger like quail and the fowl feeders actually work really well for this because they're generally more like barrel chested. So they're going to be a bigger, like they're going to have to work more to maneuver their face and jaws around that feeder anyway. So that tends to work really well. Come here, sweetie. But I will share that process on Patreon. I don't share feeding videos on public platforms, but I do share them on Patreon from time to time. So if you want to see how that process works, hopefully it works, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I can at least show you all kind of the size, comparatively what size we use. So it's her right eye. You can see, hi, sweetheart, I know. She's like, I don't feel fancy. Why are you showing off my eye? You're showing off the others. I know, you're showing off your good side. Yeah. Hi, honey. So she's getting so big, it's hard to actually maneuver her. I actually might be able to show on your phone. Are you on?
I am. You just haven't let me in.
Oh, whoops. There we go. So let's see if we can get it with Jody's phone.
I don't know how I can turn the thing around. This is just a...
I think you can. I've done it before.
This thing sucks so bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
This is a terrible web app.
Jody's going to complain about StreamYard right now.
Yeah, there's no way for me to switch the camera. All right, we're just
Oh,
going
weird.
this way.
Huh, I was able to with my phone, but all right, we'll just do it this way. So it's turn trying to show everybody. She's like determined to not show you. All right, we tried. We'll just see if we can capture it. She doesn't want anything to do.
I don't know if you can see it right there.
Yeah.
Basically, the telltale sign is that eye just kind of gets bulgy.
Mm-hmm. It bugs out, essentially. Yeah. All right, we can exit out of it because it's echoing. That's going to drive me bonkers.
I don't think I can.
I have to remove you.
I think so. Well, I'll just exit it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you actually have to be the one to do it. So yeah, that's our current medical situation right now. Etoile is doing well. So again, I don't think I shared this publicly. I shared it on Patreon. Etoile prolapsed again a couple weeks ago. She has so far been doing fine. She had a meal. She had a meal yesterday. So far so good. But we will be she'll be on, she's on an indefinite medical hold right now until we know for certain that she's like where she's at in terms of that. And if she does continue to kind of have recurring prolapses,
issues,
then we'll just need to hang on to her until either we can get a procedure done to help, rectify that problem. And then we need to still hang on to her for a while after that to make sure it actually did what it's supposed to do. And then find her a adequate home that knows the expectations for that and kind of the, potential relapses and stuff like that. So something to think about if you are interested in breeding is sometimes that comes up, and having a kind of plan of action for how to work through that. Because some animals are just unsellable essentially. And that's, it then becomes our responsibility to make sure they get the care and the enrichment and all of the things that they need for their lives. So, and now Arius is coming back over here. I apologize. This keeps on like jumping around because normally we would do Friday evenings. I think today is the first Saturday afternoon. We're testing out different times. Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
To see what works for the majority of people. So, yeah.
But in addition to
she's
Centauri is just lying on my lap now.
Yeah,
So
Centauri is out.
in addition to the clogged tear duct, Centauri in the not too recent past has also like pulled down one of her. Was it her UV?
She uninstalled her UV light. Essentially, she pulled it down completely, which we use. We have Arcadia lighting in all like this deck right here, and Aries also has Arcadia lighting. We're going to, as we do upgrades, we're going to switch everyone over to VivTech and probably just the like really streamlined LED strips that Jody installed in the baby enclosures because they're really cheap. But the issue that I've been having with the Arcadia lighting is it takes up a lot of real estate on the roof, like on the top of the enclosure. So that's thing number one. Number two, the lights themselves do get really, really warm. So it affects the ambient temp in the enclosure, which I find a little bit frustrating because sometimes I have to turn the LED lights off completely if it gets too hot, and it's kind of a pain.
Like you can even see Aries' tank right behind us. It's kind of dark. That's because the only light that's on right now in theirs is UV.
Is UV, yeah.
But
the UVs need to be switched out every 6 months.
Yeah.
And like because of the way that they're designed, they're very accessible to animals climbing on them, like snakes.
Yeah.
And then if they're strong, like any of
or heavy,
right, they'll pull them down. So that, and again, because they take up so much space on the top, getting cage covers for them sometimes becomes impossible due to that layout. So hi, Vinny. So I don't know where he's going. But yeah, that's kind of my experience with Arcadia. They're quality lights, but we are slowly switching to VivTech because one, you don't have to switch out the UV. The UV lasts, well, you do eventually, but the UV lasts so much longer.
And one of the issues too is that you can kind of see that the Arcadias have these like hoods,
Mhm.
which are essentially kind of like a reflector that kind of sends the light,
It spreads the UV out
right.
on the floor. Yeah.
But the problem is that this is a big enough gap that 100% of our snakes can climb on this. That it gives them too much to climb on. The ones that we found that are intended to kind of be like under cabinet lights that we're using in the nursery are essentially so low profile that there's just nothing for them to grab on.
Yeah.
So I think that is kind of a better safety.
Yeah. No, Sarah, the LEDs do not emit UV, so we still have two separate lights. We have a specific LED light and then a specific UV light. So they're two different lighting implements.
Yeah, the UVs are just not quite bright enough to give us full, lighting that we want there. We also want to be able to kind of control them independently.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got the LEDs just for light purposes, and then the UVs from VipTech are separate.
Yep. Yeah, the LEDs also provide like full spectrum lighting for the plants too. So yeah, between the LEDs and the UVs, the plants do really, really well. So yeah, that's kind of our thing about lights. But yeah, all the upgrades that we're going to be getting, hopefully by October, we're going to install like new lights. We might actually try new heat panels as well.
Yeah, there's
he's all fired up.
The heat panels that we've been using are VEs, Vivarium Electronics, and in general they've been really good. However, Stella managed to pull hers off her ceiling.
Yeah.
And again, the only issue there is that they are kind of large enough that they can kind of get a grip around them. So she was probably just, climbing on it, hanging onto it, doing her snaky things, and it just, it's got 3 screws in it, and that's it. Holding it into PVC, which is soft, and it just fell. There's another brand of RHPs that I think we're going to try next, which is called Wilbanks.
Yeah, I heard they don't get as unplugged as easy either. So we have a couple of kiddos. Like Ivy likes to unplug her RHP. Twee has done it once in a while. Chahaya is a regular culprit for unplugging hers too. So
Chahaya and Ivy, it's like they're racing. Like they're trying to one up each other as to who can unplug their heat panel the most. But so I think number one, they have the power cord is actually hardwired into the panel itself, and are you on my foot? And the what else? The heat panels themselves are just smaller. So they, again, take up less real estate on the ceiling, so you have more room to do other things. And they also, again, don't come down as far into the tank. So you kind of have, the ability to do other stuff on the ceiling if you need extra lighting or whatever you want.
Oh, it saves it.
Oh, fantastic.
All right. So I'm going to start adding
Patreon names?
Yeah.
Cool.
What is today? August. Patreon.
All right, we got a question from Eric that I will read out loud while you're doing that.
Hello.
Do you guys keep your boas separate from your other species? I have a boa and a corn steak. I don't stack closures on top of each other. I have them on separate sides of the room.
So I get this question a lot because we do keep pythons and we do keep boas. And one of the reasons so I'm trying to do 2 things at once, that becomes a kind of question to ask is because boas can carry certain like diseases and stuff that they can often survive just fine with. While if a python gets it, then they can be deadly. You got her. So yeah, we get our boas tested regularly to ensure that they're all healthy. And then we also, we do have them on the other side of the room. We don't do like simultaneous free roaming or anything like that. Like this little tree that we have is literally, like I just call it the retic tree because the retics climb on it. The boas aren't allowed to climb on it. So anything that would be like a shared surface needs to be able to be completely disinfected. So yeah, we do keep them in the same room. Yeah. But there's also plenty of other keepers that keep boas and pythons in the same room as well, without issue. So as long as you don't have a carrier, and I guess we're, having a reliable vet that can do testing and stuff for you is important.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Something else that I know I always do from a kind of biosecurity standpoint is when I'm like doing things like changing waters, I always do the pythons first and the boas last. Stuff like that, just in case, like that's a very easy thing to do to, just be sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, so share screen. So this is the names that we have right now. If your name isn't on here, and it should be, or you would like to be. So this is for the art giveaway. So we're going to give away a piece of art today. It's for paid Patreon members only. So if you want to join in that giveaway, hop on Patreon, become a paid member at $7 a month. It supports us a ton. So thank you to everyone who is currently a paid member. It is much appreciated. And and then I'll make sure that I have your name added to it. So we're going to do that in about 20 minutes. Yeah. So you do not need to be present to win. If you win and you're not here, I will just send you a personal message or email or what have you.
Yep.
So.
And then just as a reminder for anyone who hasn't looked at our Patreon, kind of couple perks of our Patreon. Number one, we do these Snakes and Coffee Chats once a week for our Patreon members. You also get, if you're interested in hatchling, we do a 5% discount for our Patreon members. Mm-hmm. We also do, so far, just one event throughout the year, but who knows, perhaps we shall add additional ones because we have such a good time at our one event, Pre-Tick Fest, as we call it. Mm-hmm. So that's
my favorite name in the world.
Her favorite name. I don't know why she likes it so little. I think it's a great name. Anywho, we do that. We do Patreon giveaways. As we work to get more kind of coordination with, partners and stuff like that, and potentially sponsors and stuff like that, we'll do giveaways with them. And then something that nobody has taken advantage of yet, but that I think is a really cool thing, is that Abby does one-on-one consults with our Patreon members, one a month, and she'll do consults on both setting up bioactives as well as snake handling.
People have done that before.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
All right, never mind. Then people have taken advantage of this, and I just haven't known about it. But
I don't tell you everything.
Why not? Anywho, so that's the thing.
So just to clarify that as well, like if you're not a Patreon member and you need or want help, please still send me a message on Instagram or like somewhere. One of the reasons I started offering it as a Patreon perk as well is because Instagram likes to hide messages. And sometimes I don't see a message request until like weeks after. So Patreon just ensures that I actually see it. There is a free week trial for those who just need some help and want to make sure that I can actually like see that they need some help or have questions. And so you can always like sign up for that free trial, send me a message on Patreon to make sure I see it, and then just like cancel that membership before it would turn into a paid membership.
Yeah.
Oh, so thank you, Sarah.
We're literally telling you how to life hack the system. But because we would rather see you get the help you need and that, your animals thrive and everybody's happy and healthy. That's our kind of primary
Yeah, he and I have full-time jobs, so for a reason. So we're not relying on like the animals, or like the Patreon membership helps a lot with like supporting, like all of that money goes back into the animals, whether that's like upgrades or feeders or like builds or whatever. Like all of that goes back to the animals, plus a lot of our own finances.
This is true.
Yeah, big enclosures are expensive,
Yeah.
but
Or getting 12 of them at a time, that's expensive.
12 enclosures at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth it
Yeah.
though.
So check in on babies. I
Mhm.
think is on our agenda.
Yeah, we still have.
What, a dozen babies that are available? I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah, we've had a good chunk go to their forever homes, which is wonderful and very
Wonderful
sad
and
all at the
sad,
same time.
yes.
But most people have been sending us regular updates on their babies, which is wonderful.
Which we super appreciate.
Yeah.
We actually also started a hashtag, which is hashtag TCHK_AS24. And that's a hashtag that we don't really use. We actually are kind of like,
Is that one right? Is that the right one?
yes.
All right, I'm gonna put it in the chat. So
Yes.
See?
So a few folks who have taken home hatchlings are using that on their posts. We really like it because we, if people are curious how hatchlings are doing and thriving in their forever homes, that hashtag gets you there. So it's not just how they are when they're here with us. It's really the kind of the proof in the pudding of how well they're doing once they're in their forever home.
The hand raised babies
Yeah.
thing. Yay! Yeah, I've seen some of your update pictures of him. He's growing so fast.
It really is.
I know last time I talked to Sarah, Odin was in shed. So excited to see him freshly. They always look so cool when they're freshly shed.
Yep.
Hey,
It's
buddy.
it's
Are you
actually
done sneezing?
really
Get it
interesting
out of your face.
to kind of start to see the difference between how they're like their egg skin shed. Everybody kind of shed within, I don't know, like maybe a week of each other.
Here comes the rain, Carrie.
Yep. Their second shed after that, like again, same thing. They all went into shed right around the same time. But now we're starting to see like the difference between the ones that are growing maybe a little bit faster just for whatever reason. They're all on the same feeding schedule, right? Like Maria sent us a picture of Calais fresh out of shed before any of the babies that we have here had even gone into blue. So yeah, apparently, I don't know. And it could be that the ones that are going home, and I don't know, this is a hypothesis. I have no idea how accurate this is, but if, people are putting them straight into 4x2s, which I think a lot of you are just for the sake of it'll, last you a good long while. Now they go from a 2x2 into a 4x2. They have more room to, kind of explore, and enrichment and stuff like that. And I don't know, maybe that will kind of change their growth rate or stuff like that. Who knows?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But this is Ara. This is one of the Anery girls. But she's something I want to show you is we do work. I just woke her up. She's still waking up. So we do work with like their heads and their faces and their tails. Like we've been doing that since day one.
Kind of giving them head pets, like we do right here with Aries. Like it's the same way that if you get a kitten, they'll say play with their ears, play with their nose, play with their mouth, because them, being used to you fiddling with them, if you need to do something medical around their ears, nose, or mouth, right now they're used to it, and it's less,
it's less stressful.
Yeah, less stressful, less shocking.
Traumatic.
They'll fight you less about it. So we kind of do the same thing with their heads in case if you need to open a mouth to fix a stuck tooth or something like that, like we had happen with Stella. They're a little bit more used to just getting little head pats or whatever.
Yeah, and Stella's like I didn't get Stella until she was almost 8 years old. I think she's been 9 this year. So she came to us pretty head shy. So she's definitely better because I've been kind of working at her pace to get her used to her head being messed with and her face being messed with when it needs to happen. Because it's not the first time she's gotten her lip stuck.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's retics in general. Like if you give them space and give them kind of just spend that time with them to let them figure stuff out, they really do like come out of their shell and like, oh, life is fun. I'm gonna go explore life, and it's really fun. Raiden, so we have kind of a wide variety of personalities with this clutch. It's thunderstorming outside, so Jasper is joking. But it's really fun to see kind of how true the different personalities of these animals can be, because we have like Ara is super friendly. Stelly is incredibly friendly. She's one of the little Stella lookalikes. She's going to her forever home tomorrow. I want to miss her.
She will like be at her lock. We'll take her out, have enrichment time, put her back, and she's just back at her lock.
Yeah, she wants to just be out.
She is out. Go.
Yeah. But then there's a couple other animals, like Raiden was one of them, our holdback boy, who was a little bit more shy. He really came out of his shell for the first time last night. He came out of his enclosure for the first time all on his own and was just being very silly and very explory, and it was just really cute. But even now, like some of the other babies are a little bit more shy. So there's definitely and that's just like Raiden we've been working mindfully with to get him a little bit more acclimated. But it's just fascinating how straight out of the eggs, some of them were like super outgoing. Some of them were a little more like introverted. So yeah, it's just really fascinating.
Yep.
Is that your twin?
Ara probably, other than Odin, Ara's the one who looks the most
like Aries. Yeah. I'm really hoping she's still available. I'm really hoping to find her a really excellent like pet home. There's nothing like super special genetically with her. She's a visual aneroid pos het albino, and that's it. But she's just so sweet and so friendly. She will get a little bit bigger. There's a chance that she could get as big as Stella, but she would just make an amazing ambassador animal. Plus, like her rosettes are so pretty and so clean. She's probably the cleanest anery that we have.
So one of the things that Motley does, right? Motley does like side pattern reduction, but then it also kind of like emboldens the dorsal pattern lines. And she almost has like the half Motley. Like she's got the bold dorsal lines.
She's got really clean,
but just without
black lines.
Yeah, but without the
Zoom.
Don't tempt me. Sarah says.
Oh.
You've already got one Aries lookalike.
You do. She's definitely bigger. It's really funny to see the size difference between her and Odin, though, because she's definitely bigger. Yeah, pretty girl. So sweet.
But,
I give them all kisses on their face all of the time. I mean, I do the same thing with him, though. Come on. Hi, bud. How did you have a scraped scale on him? It's just, he's used this analogy before.
Yeah,
he's like the equivalent of the friend that you had growing up who always had like scraped knees or like cuts on the palms of their hands because they were just always falling and stumbling because they were always just exploring and living life. That's Aries.
I had a friend named James when I was in like elementary school, and he would come over and we would like we had a swing set in our backyard when I was really little, but James would be the kid who would like go into the woods behind the swing set and find a vine hanging from a tree and just swing from tree to tree like just a little tiny blonde Tarzan and like constantly scraping his knees.
Isn't Tarzan blonde?
Oh, I don't know. Anywho, that's how I describe Aries. He's just he is my childhood friend James. Just constantly. Yeah, Carrie, you've picked up a few new friends recently. You probably have enclosures is next for you. That's for sure.
Carrie or Sarah?
Carrie.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Hi, Sarah.
Sarah, thanks so much for joining. Have a good rest of your weekend.
Say hi to Megan.
Yes, say hi to Megan. Give Odin loves for us when he's out of shed.
He's like holding on to my clavicle with his tail. this table.
You're talented, sir. So yeah, we have one of the babies, New Forever Homes, is coming to pick her up tomorrow morning. So that'll be fun. They're going to actually come here to pick her up because they want to see Stella and meet Aries. Yeah, Stella's still in shed right now. I'm really hoping
We were hoping she would be out of shed by
I mean, she's still got a few hours.
That's true.
Oh my, yeah, it's raining. Okay. It is monsooning right now. There's a folk festival happening in our neighborhood right now.
Yeah. Hopefully they're all dry under their tents.
I know, this is crazy. Well, they have like animals and stuff there too, so hopefully the animals can get dry. Crazy town. Where are you going? Climberoo? All right, we have about 10 minutes before we do our giveaway. Oh my gosh, people are being crazy on social media this week. Social media's just been mean this week. Not everyone. The majority is still very kind, but like
Yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about how you kind of navigate kind of negativity on social media?
we can, but I mean, it's
I don't know if
literally
anyone's curious.
just doing nothing, like not responding to them has generally been my go-to. Oh, nice. Get a nice upgrade. Hi, Jason. How's it going? Yeah, I mean,
Jason, I have 2 sheds for you. Set aside.
just collecting sheds. Or Jason. Hi. Hello. Do you want my nose? They like to climb on faces. But yeah, I mean, the most I usually ever do is just like share a comment on my story. Be like, this is why it's better to be kind than be nasty. One of the biggest things that kind of makes me shake my head is people who leave like the GIFs that they think are funny or whatever of like the flamethrower person or like someone shooting a gun aimed at the viewer. Like it's like you're trying to do it in a passive aggressive way kind of, but you're still like very clear in the intent that you want my animal to die or you want to kill my animal. Like I'm like, most of these people are like have like a cat. Like if you go to their profiles, they have like a cat or something like that. And it's like, what? Like this animal is literally just sitting here doing nothing to you. Like, why do you want to cause harm to it? She's never caused harm to any living thing ever. It's usually on videos of Stella because she's just bigger and she tends to get a little bit more traction on social media. Not all of her videos, but some of them. She's probably the most popular of all of our retics on social media. But she also, because of that, she also gets the most hate, which I think is just really sad because people are like, I've literally, people are notorious for getting so angry that Stella is so chill and sweet. They're just like mad about it. They're like,
Right.
There's no way this blah, 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 like makes her kill or be killed. I'm like, obviously.
Yep.
Like, but I tend to not respond to those. Carrie, yes, Aries is in a 6x2x4.
Yeah.
Yep. He has that like custom switchback shelf situation. So yeah, we're gonna essentially order the same kind of setup for Centauri. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get shelves ordered. Where are you going, Ara? Shelves ordered for. I'm gonna order 2 additional. So we're gonna order a 6x4 by. I think we're gonna do 2.5 feet deep, the 30-inch, which is what Stella's is, as opposed to the 2 feet deep. I just think it works better for the super active kiddos, and get the shelves, but also for the boas that I'm upgrading into. I'm actually gonna give Ivy an upgrade because she needs one. She's gonna get moved into a 6x2x2, and so is Law. And I'm gonna get shelves, like the cliffhanger shelves for those 2 as well, because they just, all of them love them so much. They're so nice. They're clean. They're easy to upkeep. They're really convenient for like laying branches against
Yeah.
and adding additional enrichment. It just helps with the bioactive setups
Yep.
and like maintaining plant life and all of that stuff. So
Yeah, and I know a few of you have, Carrie, you have toad ranches as well. And I think Carrie, I even showed you this when you were here, is getting the cliffhanger shelves as part of the build when you order the tanks makes
so much
installing
easier.
them so much easier.
So much
Like it's
easier.
night and day. It's really cool. Like even in areas, like there's one corner where two of the shelves didn't line up quite correctly. Like we just didn't quite get it exactly right. And so we had to do like some kind of retroactive, like bracketing the two things
Mhm.
so that they would hold up.
Yes, Carrie,
three
we
is
use in a
enough.
6x2x2. Eventually, what I would like to do is get everyone in a 4 foot tall enclosure, like boas, retics, everyone 4 foot minimum tall, because cogs will need an upgrade to some point in the near future. But we're going to need to do some sort of expansion, either building a new building or expanding this room that we already have, doing something that helps.
Pushing it out that way.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, helps facilitate the upgrades that we want to have for the animals. So, I mean, the other thing we can do too, potentially, what I really would love to do if we wind up building another building is setting it up where we have the capacity to essentially let animals free roam, like have a retic room, have a boa room, have them completely separate, and then have like a playground section of each room, and have them all like the lighting and the not the lighting so much, the thermostats and wires and stuff all secured away in a way that we can just leave enclosure doors open if we want to, so they can just go play overnight and have it secure, like super secure, to facilitate that, because they're so active. They will utilize all the space. What are you doing? And they move around so much. Like if you think about the wild, like in the jungle, right? In the jungles of Indonesia, there's a lot of space. There's a lot of trees for them to climb on. They can just go explore for however long they want. And I think that would facilitate some really awesome enrichment for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then do the same for the boas too, because the boas are also, like, Ivy's been really active the last couple weeks.
Yeah. She kind of goes through like,
She does spurts.
she'll take a
Spurts of
nap for,
activity.
a week and then she'll wake up and be like, playtime.
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with their like feeding schedule and digestion. So yeah, she gets fed I think tomorrow. So she's definitely been a little bit more active this week.
Jason, you said you're in town in a few weekends. What are you up to? Are you picking up tanks?
Yeah, we both have pretty chill schedules. So if you want to meet up and like grab lunch or coffee or whatever, and
I need
switch
to
over
go to New
chats.
Jersey to help my mom move on the 15th.
Oh right, you might be here during that time, but I can meet you.
But other than that,
Yeah.
I'm around.
I can bring you sheds.
Yeah, at this point, we've got one shed from Raiden, one shed from Hukioni.
I don't
No,
know.
Scotty.
You are the shed
I'm
collector.
the shed collector.
Yeah.
And, but Starburst and whichever other Platy Snow Girl.
His arm's looking swole. We went to the gym this morning for the first time in a while because I work with kids. Everybody got sick this summer.
Yeah.
Over the summer intensive that I work, including myself, which I haven't gotten the summer cold in for. I wasn't COVID or anything. It was just a summer ick. But COVID was actually going around Baltimore pretty excessively as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, today I'm finally feeling a little bit more like, okay, back to normal. So went to the gym, been doing some cleaning, playing with all the babies.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully by next year, like I want to start doing more with Patreon. I think I'm going to do, start doing Patreon lives for like actually on Patreon. So not through like YouTube or anything, but just going live on Patreon for like snakes and yoga here and there. So if you ever want to like do some stretching and, have a nice like meditative space to come chill for a little bit, then those will be up there. I'm going to do my best to make the art giveaway a monthly thing. So every time we do the live for the public, do the art giveaway, and then
Cool.
all kinds of fun stuff.
Okay, yeah, that's the weekend that I'm going to New Jersey. So basically, my schedule
Gotcha.
that weekend, I'm leaving here on Thursday, helping my mom move Thursday, Friday, and then I'll either be back Friday night or Saturday, kind of afternoon, depending on
On the 17th.
depending on how quickly we do the things.
Cool. I did not know they were having a breeder event. Neither one of us are breeders
Yeah,
here
we're not breeding.
at ROR. We approach things a little bit different from the ROR crew.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the ability to do the kind of like selective breeding for not just morph, but also like kind of the quality within the morph, like pixelated pattern versus bold lines, all of those things. We will never be at the scale where we have that many animals that we can do that kind of selective breeding. So our
Yeah.
focus is
we would need to switch the way that we keep, which we're not.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that. So yeah.
So-
And there's enough people doing that.
Right.
Anyway, so it's like we don't need
So we're
to.
going to continue to do our
Yeah.
own thing because
Yeah, we're really focused on really high quality pets. Essentially, like we really want to not push, but I guess push is the word. Like push the like hand raised, super docile, amazing pet pythons and hopefully eventually boas as well. So yeah, that's kind of our focus. So we have a couple of we have some high quality morphs, not
We
gonna
do.
lie. So if we wind up making like fruit baskets in the near future with Raiden and Chihaya, then those are going to be obviously some, very high end, more expensive animals.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the clutches that we have are going to be majority, very accessible pet quality.
one of the things that I really liked about
Yeah.
this clutch is that, we've got platinum lavender Molly Snows, right? Which is kind of a high-end animal.
Mhm.
But then we've just got Aneries. So depending on what you're looking for, we really have like such a wide range, which is, I think, been
Mhm.
really, really cool.
Yeah, I agree, Jason. Like, not a whole. The morphs have been such like a hyper focus for such a long time, which is great. Like, there's beautiful animals, but I think especially as research becomes more and more, proves more and more that these animals are much more smart, and much more like personality diverse than we ever thought before. I think that will start kind of snowballing and more people will be open to they are, they make really awesome pet. I think they make amazing companion animals,
They really
honestly. I think they're wonderful. We have a couple of babies that have got home to people who are like, yeah, they just literally follow us around.
Yeah.
Which I think is adorable. Again, the objective scientific side of my brain is always I wonder why that is.
Mhm.
Is it because they're emotionally bonded, or is it because of a smell that they're familiar with, or is it just they're a big moving warm thing that they are attracted to because it's warm and they are ectotherms.
And what's really interesting
Who
is
knows?
that we're actually kind of doing two things that contribute to that, right? We're doing breeding for temperament just in terms of parent selection, but we're also doing a very different kind of raising and rearing environment. But what's really interesting to me is that every single one of these babies has been in a 2x2 their entire life, front opening, full light cycling, never been in a rack, right? They all have the opportunity for enrichment, more so than a lot of the way other breeding facilities do it. But within that, there is still an enormous amount of kind of personality difference, even just on the scale of outgoing to shy, right? So even with the opportunity for enrichment and outgoing, we still see personality variation, which I think is an important distinction.
Yeah, for sure. Carrie, you've had Superdorf or ball python breeders warn you about Superdorf retakes? Oh, that's funny. Oh, sorry, Raquel. We're still here though. I also put on my initial story on Instagram yesterday. I said it was 1 p.m. yesterday, but I posted a story at like 2 o'clock. I'm like, nope, it's on 3rd, not the 2nd. I really bad at calendaring. So, but yeah, that's kind of, yeah. I'm curious, what did they tell you about, like, what have you been warned against for Superdorf retakes? Like the food bitiness, or I'm really curious, Carrie, what you've been told.
Yeah.
Hi,
Miles.
Oh, hey, Miles.
Presumably Evelyn as well.
We should go get their kiddo.
Nova. I mean, she's digesting.
She's also at her glass.
Is she?
Yes.
Miles, we fed Nova last night.
Let me go see if I can get her out.
Okay. And
She also got a small meal last
yeah,
night.
we gave her a hopper again since she's traveling Tuesday. We wanted her to be fully digested, but she was like at her glass this morning. And that, by the way, kind of, I think the normal time frame that people say is like feed them and then just let them be, don't interact with them for 48 hours kind of thing. Almost all of these babies are, unless they are in shed, within a day after eating, they are up, being excited, and whatnot. Yeah, I mean, there's always that supposedly spicy. I think even, Adam Wickens did a video where he kind of was talking about animals that are not necessarily a good beginner animal, and retics was one of them, and actually gave Abby a shout out in that video of saying, and now you have some keepers out there like the curly haired keeper whose retics behave like docile as ball pythons. But
She's all curled up.
is she?
Yeah, she's
All right.
curled back up.
All right, Miles, Nova is going to stay
I'm gonna leave her be because I don't want
stay
to
sleeping.
stress her. Since she just stayed.
She's all curled up.
Yeah. So this is still Ara. Little chill girl.
Oh, we have a question from Raquel. My boa decided that he is a choice-based animal.
Yay.
His choice is always out. Wondering if maybe he's upset with the tank's temp or if he just likes to explore.
So that's always a really good question and something that I'm always checking as well. So banana, especially if it's a like seemingly very quick behavior adjustment, pay attention to where he's at in his enclosure. So if he's always hanging out on the cool side and never on the hot side, turn it down. So reverse is true. Like if they're always hanging out on the hot side and never on the cool side, maybe kick the ambient temp up a little bit. Some animals like Shy did this. We got him when he was about 6 months old, and right around a year. It took him about 6 months of settling in.
We got him when he was like 2 months old.
Oh,
he was born
right.
the 4th of July, and we got him
in
before we
September.
moved here. Right?
Yeah, we got him in September. So he was 2 or 3 months old. Never mind. And it took him either way. It took him about 6 months with us before and it was literally overnight.
Yeah.
He like all of a sudden was like choice based, and was like wanted to be all the time. I'm like, who are you?
Yep.
So I went through like to consistently checked with the temp gun, played around with his temps and stuff, and that behavior was consistent as far as choice-based stuff. So that would be my recommendation. Just use a temp gun, double check your temps, double check your humidity. There are times, especially right now since it's been so humid here, where the tanks themselves will get really, really humid. And like Centauri does this a lot. She'll be at her glass and I'll open the door, and she doesn't necessarily want to come out. She just wants some fresh air. So, or I'll like turn the fan on and she calms down. So yeah, just kind of knowing your animal's behavior is really important. But that question is a really good one to always come back to. Like I said earlier, like why is this behavior happening? Can I kind of figure out, like by taking away certain things or adding other things, can I kind of figure out what is causing this behavior and make sure it's nothing bad? Where are you going? I don't know why he's running. Oh, he's getting a thing.
So, one of the reasons that we use these are Govee.
The hygrometer, thermometer.
Yeah, Wi-Fi thermometer, hygrometer. So, a regular old humidity sensor or thermometer in the tank is great and accurate. But what the Gobies do is that they let us see, it automatically records all of that data over time. So that if all of a sudden there is a behavior change in the animal, you can go back and see, well, what are their parameters right now in comparison to what were their parameters over the last 2 weeks, a month,
Right.
however long. And that's really, really useful information. The other thing that we recently just found, and I'm actually working on modifying these, are little 3D printed holders for these that we can kind of stick on the side of a tank. So I don't think I have. I think I've used all of the ones that I have so far. I'm modifying them to actually, they only have one screw through the background, through the backing. I'm modifying them to add 2 more screw holes so that if snakes climb on them, they don't rip them out of the wall. But as soon as we have, a line on those, we'll give you guys those links as well, because I think all of these things are really, really useful. The Gobies are a game changer in terms of really understanding your animal's parameters and how those parameters might be affecting their behavior. I'm a data guy, so
He really is.
it's what I do professionally.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I think he's probably fine, Rico. Yeah, it can be a little bit hard to differentiate between, are they wanting to come out because they want to come out and are feeling social and interactive, or are they just wanting to come out because their enclosure isn't comfortable for them? So playing around with those parameters, knowing what the norm of your parameters has been and if it's been causing any issues. But yeah, generally from my experience is if they have gone from kind of super chill and not choice-based, and then all of a sudden they are choice-based, usually it's just something has clicked in that snaky brain. If nothing has changed parameter-wise, just something has clicked in their snaky brain that they're like, oh, this is a safe spot. Sometimes it takes them a while to adjust, so yeah.
And I would say we've seen both the light switch change, like what Chai did, but we've also seen more gradual kind of changes in terms of being more outgoing. Chahaya just recently started, she has been probably our most shy.
She's definitely our most shy retake. Yeah, she's our most reclusive. She's our orange glow,
Orange
Hetty
glow
girl. She's so pretty.
But she just recently, she doesn't do choice-based, I've never had her, at least for me, come from the tank out onto my hand, but she will come out of the tank onto the retic tree, which it's only been within the last, 2 months that she's come all the way out of the tank.
Yeah, she's been here over a year. So sometimes it's size. Cogs is the same way. I started yesterday. Started doing every day. I'm doing some sort of in enclosure interaction with him to see if I can't get him choice-based. And so far it's been going really, really well. It's only been 2 days. But yeah, I mean, it's, if you're observant and get to know the animal's behaviors and those behavioral cues, you'll be able to start noticing the difference. April O'Neil has a different way that she pieces her enclosure when she wants to come out to explore and she's just feeling social versus she's in full-on pacey food mode. There's a difference. It's very nuanced, it's very subtle, and I don't think anyone would be able to differentiate between those two behaviors other than me and maybe Jody. Maybe
probably not even me.
Yeah,
Abby knows April's behavior.
April's quirky.
Really
She's a funky girl. She's so funny. But yeah, it's just, they're all different personalities, so it's just getting to know those individual animals. So add the water bowls and the misting system tank thingy by the Amazon. I think so. Did Zoom Ed? So we use the Zoom Ed bowls. Or are you talking about the bowls with the hide underneath them? Which bowls are you talking about?
Yeah, those are things that we did not get from Amazon. So we have misting system. We actually got kind of an automated tank mister. I don't know if we've ever really kind of permanently installed it. What do we have in that closet?
Yeah, no, I'm not a big misting system person,
Yeah.
for the species that we keep and the way that we keep them, because we keep them bioactive, it's
Yeah.
super easy to just, like in the wintertime, it gets the driest. I mist them down about once every 1 to 2 weeks, and that does the trick to keep the humidity up where it needs to go.
The one that we use, I don't know if it's on Amazon because it's Cobalt. It's Lowe's brand.
Yeah, that's the mister.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
the
and that's it's a great mister. Let me see if Amazon, I'm gonna check really quick and see if Amazon has. Where is my? Where is Amazon? Where did it go?
So this is the mister we use. So Lowe's brand is Cobalt. It's essentially power rechargeable, but it's got a nice big well in it. It's super useful.
Mhm.
It's all of the other ones that we've gotten, like the hand pump ones. Eventually, that kind of pressure mechanism fails on them, and this one has been so much better.
Yeah, so they do have some of the ZMed Rock, like Reptar Rock water bowls is what we use on Amazon. We can add them. They don't have a ton of size options. Like the biggest size they have right now is large. So they have small, medium, large. Large is essentially the smallest one that we tend to use. In the past, we've always picked up the ZMed water bowls from like reptile shows. They tend to be a little bit cheaper there, but or like ZMed directly. But we can definitely add them on Amazon if you would find that helpful.
Can you take your
Super
tail
easy.
out of my shirt, please?
Are you a child? Do you want to switch? Do you want our own? I can take Aries.
Sure.
Okay.
This dude is.
Jody's a little bit more of a helicopter parent with Aries. I tend to just let him go where he wants to go, and then it makes Jody nervous.
There is a fundamental difference in one fundamental difference between Abby's personality and mine. Mine is I don't want to have to clean up a mess. So I'm going to do everything in my power to prevent the mess from occurring. Whereas Abby's like, we'll just let the mess happen. We'll deal with it later. And so when it comes to like Aries climbing all over the place.
Can you not climb on? He is climbing on the piece of art we're giving away, though.
Yeah. Which is right next to a water jug that is not empty. So.
Oh yeah. So we
the
can.
hand pump ones do. Tend to
Yeah,
fail
we
most.
can see if it's on Amazon. I don't know if it will be because it's the lowest brand, but either which way, we can share it on Patreon.
Yeah.
Too.
The one with the hose that you use to water the plants. Yeah, that's the Cobalt one
Mhm,
for kelp
yeah.
that we use. So we'll find that one and send it. The other thing that we do for bioactives, something that's kind of I think important to remember is everything that it's so weird holding Aura after I've been holding Aries for
He's so
20
tiny.
minutes. She's tiny and Aries is also very stubborn of like if he wants to go to a place he's going to go there, so he will literally go over with you. So the other thing about bioactives is remember like you want to always use stuff that is no fertilizer, no pesticide. So the other thing that we do is we have a dedicated watering can, just a regular watering can, but we just got one that that one never gets fertilizer in it,
Yeah.
and that's the one that we use, because
And they're all different colors. So the ones that we use for like the houseplants and stuff that we put fertilizer in once a week is like bright green, and the one that we use for the reptiles is white. So it's very easy to
Very
like
easy-
look at it
easy
and be
to tell
like,
the
oh,
difference.
that's the one that I need.
But the watering can's like we could just use our regular water pitchers that we use to refill water bowls. But the watering can is just such a longer spout. It's easy to hit water specifically without
Yeah.
kind of clunking around inside the tank. So that's a really handy, a very very simple thing to do, but extremely useful.
But this just been hanging out by her water bowl for like the last 2 hours.
Pimpsman?
Miss Tarantula.
She was very hungry last night.
Yeah, did she? Yeah, she. I went to
pounced
go
on
refill
one
her
of the
water,
crickets.
and she like pounced on the water like she thought it was food. It was very fun. It's the first time she's ever done that. I was like, oh, somebody's hungry. She's getting bigger. We need to get her bigger feeders. I want to get her like super worms or something. She can eat really sizable feeders at this point. So
Maybe chicken wings. She wants to go to wing night. No? Okay.
Probably not that.
Alrighty.
Jason, you're not on Patreon, are you? We're doing an artwork giveaway for paid Patreon members, so I just want to make sure we're not
leave you off.
leaving you out if you are a Patreon member. If you're not a big deal. Don't worry about it.
But it is just about that time.
It is, yes.
We recently did this thing. We got a generator installed in this house because the power has gone out for
Mhm.
extended periods of time on a number of occasions. But the other thing is that the generator takes maybe 20 seconds to kind of warm up before it will switch over and do house power, which means that if we're on live and all of a sudden the power goes out, I don't know if you've seen, you can hear the thunder, you see the lights flickering. If we're on a live, the laptop will stay on, but the cable modem and the router would go off. So I got a UPS that I only put our router and cable modem on. So like if like I'm on a meeting or she's in class or we're on a live and then power blips, like we'll go dark, like it'll be, pitch black in here, but we don't lose connection.
Yeah. Let me check Jason really quick. Yeah, I think you just need to because I changed the tiers a little bit, I think you just need to go in and double check to reactivate it. But I will add you on here just to make sure that we are not excluding anyone. All right. Miles is on here. Dun, dun, dun. Gabe didn't join Patreon yet, did he? Is he planning on joining?
He has not mentioned it to me.
Okay. All right, cool. Does he know about the discount if he joins Patreon?
I'm not sure. Sure.
If he makes a mess right now, I will clean it up.
Okay, I just don't want him to unplug the nursery, and he was heading for behind the tanks. All right, are we ready for giveaway time?
I think so. Jason, I added your name.
We'll grandfather you in.
Yeah, we'll grandfather you in. All right, so let's do a little giveaway. Let me share. Present. Share screen. Share screen. Dun, dun. Share. All right. Done. Okay, so here we go. We have everybody's names on there. I just need to.
Oh, that is making me motion sick.
Oh.
All right. Jeremy.
All right, cool.
Jeremy has got a special needs ball python that was just surrendered to them, that he is in the process of nursing back to health. So
That'll be nice.
I think
I'll
that is
message him.
a wonderful outcome to
Yeah.
send him something on top right in his day, because
Congratulations, Jeremy.
he is doing the Lord's work over there.
He
That was
really
a
is.
very emaciated and dehydrated animal. We're very happy that
Yeah.
he's
I'm gonna message him right now.
fantastic.
Because I know he usually tries to join the lives, but I know between work and everything else,
Yeah, they've been busy.
they've been very busy. Oops.
Well, all right, gang. Well, that about does it for this week's live. You are so soft. Do you know this?
Cool. All right, y'all. Let us know if you have any questions after this. Comment on the live after it goes up on YouTube. It goes up shortly after we end this because it's just live streaming on YouTube
Automatic.
anyway. So yeah, we got to go get prep for another 3:00 little virtual tour that we're doing for someone. So yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for the questions and the good conversation. We always wind up talking about something
I know.
interesting,
We
and
don't
fascinating, even if it's not the
really
same
plan
thing.
it, but
Yeah, sometimes I
just-
have like a topic I want to focus on, but for the most part, yeah, let's just kind of go with the flow. So, all right, thanks you all, and we will talk to you later.
ciao. I don't know why I just waved goodbye with 2 fingers.